Hello and welcome to Crimson Keep. My name's Nick Warren and I am the designer. Today we're going to run through a solo game just to show you how that plays out. It is slightly different to the two-player game. The human player, i.e. me on the left-hand side, we play as per normal rules. Kai has her own set of slightly different rules that she adheres to whilst playing. So I'll give you a very quick rundown of all the elements. So here's the main board. The main board is where you're going to be building your keep. This is denoted by spaces that have a little icon that looks like a tower, and this is where you're going to be placing all your building cards. So it's one of the three sets that you have in your hand. The second set is combat cards, which we will initially put in our barracks ready to come out to battle. The third is caverns, and they are effectively bonus cards that you can use during the game in order to give you bonus actions. So that's the three sets. We've got building, we've got combat, and we've got caverns. So up here we have battle tactics cards. We've got 4 battle tactics cards. They will be used, surprise, surprise, in a battle, which we will probably play during the game. Here's your deck of cards. This is the discard space, and here are the 3 really important cards in the game. They're the summoning cards. They're foiled. You can't probably see it on the video, but they are, to denote that they are important cards in the game. And you need to have these 3 cards placed in the keep in order to summon a dragon. Below this board, so this is the clan board, below the board is the summoning board. And the summoning board has, you'll start at the top. So these are rune value tokens. This denotes the value of the tokens of the runes that you're going to find whilst playing the game. These can be adjusted, so they could all be all 2s or all 1s or a mixture of 1s and 2s, depending on how difficult or long you want the game to be. These are effectively the actions that you'll be doing in the game to move up this bottom track here. So we've got building, so the higher you build your keep, the more runes you're going to find. If you go out and do combat, you can win 3 different types of combat runes. Runic alignment is effectively pairs. So if you can find 2 cards that have the same symbol next to each other in the keep or orthogonally adjacent, and they have the matching rune on, then we can find those ones. And the last one is clan runes. So if we have basically these 3 placed in our keep, or these are full but all turned active, or we have 3 cards in our barracks, we can find various runes there. So at the bottom is an action track. This is our marker. So every time we find a rune, then we're going to start moving this token up. And you may be able to see there's 3 different dragons tokens on there. This is a weak, this is a strong, and this is a mighty. So as we're moving up the track, we're moving towards one of these 3 dragons. And if we land on it and we've hit these 3 criteria at the bottom, we can summon the dragon. But we might not want to summon the weak dragon. We might want to go to the strong dragon. I'll explain that a little bit later. But there's the 3 criteria for summoning a dragon down here. If you land on this dragon with this token, and you have achieved all you need to do to summon the dragon, but decide not to, this token, this little wooden dragon goes, and this token moves up 1. If you get here and you can't summon the dragon, then the token still goes, but this token does not move up a further 1 space. Here's the main board, and here are all the actions you can do. There are 7 actions, and they're divided into 4 different tracks. Every time you do an action, you move the token forward 1. However, if you do a second action in the same track, it does not go forward a second time. If you manage, well, you will, if you get your tokens to the end of the track, you get a free action, which is denoted here. And we can do them during the game. You'll be able to see what happens there. So there's 4 different free actions. And if we get all 4 of these tokens on all 4 of these spaces at the end, we have an extra special action here, which again, I can talk to you later in the game. Here are a collection of battle tokens. So again, as the name dictates, you'll be using these in a battle. Orange for attack and blue are for defense. So you'll see that Kai, so Kai is on this side, she will be doing the same. Every time she moves, if she does an action, she'll be moving up the track. But if she gets to the end, she doesn't get to do these 4 free actions or this one. She will just be collecting battle tokens, and she will be storing them in her caverns. So then we move on to Kai's board, and she'll be putting combat cards out in her barracks. In part of setup, we've removed any cavern cards, so she does not have access to any cavern cards. She still has 4 battle tactics cards. This is her entire deck here. This is her discard pile, and you'll see that she does not have the summoning cards placed out. She actually has them shuffled into her deck, so they'll come out randomly, whereas we will be able to draw these out as and when we need. So you'll see that she does not have a summoning board. This is because Kai, in the lore in the game, already knows how to summon a dragon. She's a ghost of a sorcerer's past that is enraged by the thought of the dragon who is trapped in this monolith may well be summoned again. So she's taken over control of a clan leader and will be trying to destroy everybody at the end of the game. So she does not need any of these, the summon track. However, she is dictated, so the first action she will do, she'll always place a card from her hand, and her second action is dictated by this action deck here. So I think that's probably a good explanation to start with. So we will start the game. Kai always starts solo play. So the first thing we'll be drawing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we draw 5 cards. A draw is draw 5 cards and keep 3. Now for her very first turn, she will be using the highest numbered cards. So on here, there will be cards, there'll be numbers on the cards which aren't really used in the 2-player game, but they're designed for the solo play. So what we do on our first turn, she picks the highest 3, so that's number 36. That is number 14, and that is number 9. Not very high cards there. She's getting rid of a Fire Lancer and a Fire Wraith. So that's her starting hand. Then what we will be doing is the first action that she always does is she will always place a card. So her highest card is the Crimson Arch, so she will be placing it here. The reason she's placing it here is because she always places it on the lowest available level. So on the side here is written 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, so this is level 1, so it's always on the lowest level. And then at the bottom here we've got A, B, C, and this is the column, so she'll always start on the lowest level and then start at A, then B, then C, and then she'll be building up her keep like that. So that's her first action. It was a place, so we move the place action up 1. Then her second action, as we said, is dictated by her action deck. So what we do is we flip a card over, and if she can do that action, she does it. If not, we keep flipping through the deck. Now, very obviously, we're very early in the game, and there'll be a lot of actions here that she won't be doing at the moment. So we might be rotating through this deck quite a lot. Later on, we'll be using a lot more of the actions. So I'll read them as we go through. So this one says attack. Kai is an active combat card that is in range to attack with either its special ability or building action. So Kai does not have any cards out at all, combat cards whatsoever. So the next card says Black Mirror. Kai has the Black Mirror placed in her keep. She does not have the Black Mirror placed in her keep. Mobilize. Kai has a combat card placed in her barracks. Here's the barracks, and she does not have one there. Expand. Place a card from Kai's hand. If there are multiple options, use what is shown on the turn marker to decide which card to place. Now, I'll explain the turn marker in a sec. That will be happening next turn for Kai, but as it's still her first turn, she will be using the highest numbered card. So the second highest numbered card in her hand, or the highest numbered left in her hand, is number 14. So she will be placing again, and she will be placing it there. Lowest level, A, then B, then C. So that is the end of her turn. Now she placed for a second time, but we do not move that marker up a second time. So it comes back to us, and off we go. So we do the same, 2, 3, 4, 5. So normally in the game this would be classed as an action, which is the draw action, but because it's the beginning of the game, we have to start the game with a hand. So I'll run quickly through what we have. We have a Fire Lancer, which is quite good for defending the keep. An Obsidian Stair, which does have a rune on it, but it's not one of the runes we need there, but pairing up runes can still be quite good. This one's a Crimson Arch. It does have a rune, and the rune does match on what we got on there, so I think we'll keep that one. This one also has a rune. that is on there. It's not the same as that one, but it's another one that we need, so I think we'll keep that one. And we've got enough runes at the moment, so I think we'll keep our Fire Lancer, so I'm going to get rid of those two. So that was our free action, so our starting action, shall we say. So then we get to do some of the actions on here. Quite limited at the beginning, but I think we will place, and maybe to be efficient we will flip. So flipping a card gives you access to its special ability or potential special ability. So this one, if we can pair another card next to this active and it has this rune on it, then we've found the runic alignment, which is also one of the things we need to be doing in here. So that's what we're aiming to do in the future. So we've placed and we flipped. That's our two actions. Then we go back to Kai. So what we didn't do first time round, because she always uses highest on our very first turn, is we have a token here, a coin, which has green and purple on either side, so you can use it in a two-player game to mark whose go it is, or basically in this one it says highest on purple and lowest on green. So we are going to flip this coin. That was all a flip. And she will be placing the highest numbered card from her hand. Now she only has one card in her hand, but this could help dictate what happens on the action track there. So the first action is to place. So that is her action there. And then we're going to see what her second action is. Sorceress. Kai has a sorceress placed in her keep. She does not at the moment. Warlock. Kai has a warlock placed in her keep. Again, she does not. Orders. Kai has an inactive combat card placed on the battlefield. So the battlefield is any space in between the two keeps. And even if the icon has a building icon on it, it still classes the battlefield because it's still in between two keeps. So there are no combat cards on the battlefield at the moment. Charge. Kai has an active combat card on the battlefield. She does not. Protect. Kai has an inactive black gate or building card placed in her keep. Now, the black gate may well come out a bit later on, and it will end up getting placed here. But for now, we don't have a black gate, but the action is, so on the action cards, Kai's action deck, sorry, there may sometimes be a couple of options. So option 1 is flip the black gate to its active side, which we cannot do. But if we read 2, it says, or flip inactive building card to be active. If there are multiple choices, use the turn marker to decide what building card to flip. So we are on highest on this turn. So the highest is Crimson Arch. So she will be flipping the Crimson Arch. So then she will be moving up there. And that is her go there. So I think we moved that up enough times there. So it's back to us. Okay, so we will be... okay. We're going to place. So I'm trying to leave maybe enough space either side to have one of these adjacent to it. So it was a place, and I think I'll do the same this time. I'm going to flip. So then it goes back to Kai. So as you can see, the turns can be quite quick in between. It gets later on when it gets a little bit more thinky, shall we say. So every time Kai completely runs out of cards in her hand, she will get to draw for free. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we need to determine what cards we're keeping. And we are keeping the lowest. So we are keeping number 6, number 15 and number 20. So she's not placing the Dragon Crystal yet, or the Obsidian Stair. Right, so she's going to place the lowest. The lowest is number 6, it's the Crimson Arch. So this is the lowest level now, is level 2, and we will start again on column A. So she's done a place. And then her second action. Fire Lancer. Kai has a Fire Lancer placed in her keep. She does not at the moment. So we've reached the end of the action track. There's only 10 cards in there. So what we're going to do, we're going to give them a shuffle. Good old shuffle. And then we will keep going. So as I said, later on in the game, we will be using much more of these cards. Attack. Kai has an active combat card that is in range. No, she does not. She's not bringing out any of her battle cards yet. Mobilize. Kai has a combat card placed in her barracks, so she still does not have a combat card placed in her barracks. Fire Lancer. No, there's no Fire Lancer. The Black Mirror is still not out. Kai is an inactive Blackgate or building card, so we're back to protect, so she is going to be turning over the lowest number. So that is actually the one we just put on. So we're going to do flip. So then she's going to flip. And then we come back to us. So I think my Fire Lancer is actually quite good higher. So this one is, there's 3 Fire Lancers in the game, then they all have slightly different special abilities. So this Fire Lancer says Singe. Flip an active enemy combat card that is in range, inactive. Range equals any card in a diagonal line from the Fire Lancer. So if a combat card ends up going there from Kai, we could potentially use this to flip it inactive. So we've done a place, and you know what? Surprise, surprise. We're going to do the flip again. So that is a bit of our keep done there. So then we come back to Kai, and her first action is we're going to flip a coin. She's going to go lowest again, so she's now going to place her Fire Lancer in. So a Fire Lancer gets placed there, and then back to the action deck. Orders. Kai has an inactive combat card placed on the battlefield. No, she does not. Charge. Kai has an active combat card on the battlefield. No, she doesn't. Sorceress. Kai has a sorceress placed in her keep. She still doesn't have that at the moment. And it's the same for the Warlock. And place a card from Kai's hand. Right, so we're on expand, and we've got to place a card from Kai's hand. If there were multiple options, we'd use the lowest number. She only has 1 left in her hand, and she is placing out the Dragon Ram into her barracks. That is the end of her turn. So it's back to us. So what happens at the end of our, in the 2-player game, this game as well, but at the end of our turn, if we have no cards in our hand, we get to use the draw action for free, because we've been efficient, we've used all our cards. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Draw 5, and we're going to keep 3. So I'll run through my options. So we've got the Warlock, great card. We have a Fire Lancer, so we've already got 1, so we could end up being quite protective in our keep, which would be quite good. Oh look, we have a pair, so that would actually match that. Oh, okay, but this is also a room we need, and the Black Gate is also a very strong card, so it's we're going to place it there, and it helps us being protected from them coming across. So what do we do here? I think the Black Gate, I think we have to keep, so we're going to keep that one. The Warlock is good, but only good when there's like a sorceress or one of the Warlock in the other keep. So as much as it pains me, I don't think we're going to keep the Warlock just now. So it's a Black Gate. We definitely need that one. And then what does this one do? This one says burn. Move an enemy combat card that is in range back 1 space. So the Singe says we turn it inactive, and this one is move it back 1 space. I think we're going to keep him for later. Alright, so our free action, we've kept the Black Gate, we've kept the Obsidian Stair that has this matching symbol, and we've got another Crimson Arch that has one of our symbols, but we're probably not going to be able to use it properly just yet. Alright, so our first action, I think we're going to do is place the Black Gate, so it's a great place to put it. And then I think our second action is we're going to place that there. So because we did a second place, we don't move that up 1 there. Okay, so we're back to Kai. Kai again has no cards in her hand. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And we're going to flip to see what she's keeping. So lowest, so she's keeping number 1, number 3, and number 24. So lowest number does not necessarily mean it's a bad card, it's just a way of Kai being able to choose. So low number does not necessarily mean a bad card. So first thing we're always going to place, so the lowest number is Scorched Knights. It's a combat card, so that goes into barracks, and that goes up 1. So she's reached the end of her track now, so She now gets to keep those two, and that goes back to the beginning, and we have to refill. So this is how she can get quite a lot of battle tokens going through the game. So a second action, we reach the end of the track. So you might have noticed as we've been going through, there's been quite a few combat potential cards in Kai's action deck, and she now has some combat cards ready to put out in the barracks. Okay. Well, there you go, as if she heard me. Mobilise. Kai has a combat card placed in her barracks. Yes. So we've got to place a combat card from the barracks inactive on the battlefield. If there are multiple options, we use what is shown on the turn marker to decide what combat card to place. So we are currently on lowest. So she will be putting out her Scorched Knights. So she has now done two places because she placed the Scorched Knights and then she's now placed them out onto the battlefield. So these guys are maybe start to come across. Give us a go in a minute. So back to us. So I think we've still got this one and it matches with that, and it definitely helps us with our runic alignment. So we are going to go with a place. So our place, we've just got to our free action at the end. So that is place a building card for free. We don't have any in our hand at the moment. Or move the Mighty Dragon down one space. The Mighty Dragon is right at the end. I don't think I'm going to try and go for that one just yet. So I think we're going to leave that on there until we've got some cards in our hand and be able to use this ability. So that was a place. And then we're going to flip. Moves that up there. Now we have just flipped, which means there's a runic alignment. We can see these two icons match, so we get to place a number one attack or a number one sorry, it's not place, it says store a number one attack or a number one defense battle token on this card when orthogonally adjacent to an active matching rune. So they're next to each other. We've made a pair and we get to choose whether we want to do attack or defense. I think at the moment we're going to go one of each, so we can put, I could have put two oranges or I could have put two blues, or I've done a bit of both. So that's that. So that's one thing. So we've stored those on there. However, we have actually scored a runic alignment, so we get to put this token on, well, this rune, sorry, and that rune is worth 1, and because it's worth 1 we get to move it up 1 on our track. Now the first time we find a rune in each of these columns, we're going to flip this over, and that basically will show us that we have to flip 3 of those over in order to be able to summon a dragon. So we've done 1 of them at the moment. So we've done our full turn because we did a place, a flip. We've got the runic alignment, so we put those on there, and then we found our rune. We're off and running. Right, so back to Kai. Kai has 2 cards in her hand. So we are on highest. So highest is number 24. So the 24 is a combat card. The combat card is going to go into the barracks, and that is that one. And then we're back to here. Fire Lancer. Kai has a Fire Lancer placed in her keep. She does. So this card has a couple of options. Option 1, use an active Fire Lancer special ability. So the card is inactive, so it cannot use its special ability. Or 2, flip Kai's inactive Fire Lancer active. So we are going to flip it active, and she has done a flip. So that is her second action. So it's back to us. So we have no cards in our hand again. So we get to draw for free. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. In the 2-player game, the drawing for free has to be at the end of your turn after you've done all of your actions, but it just makes sense for us at the moment whilst we're doing single play to go back and forth doing it this way. Right, so we have a Winged Tivan. So this is a combat card and it's quite good against the opposition's clan leader, but the clan leader's not out yet. The Black Armory. This actually gives us a protection token. So if there's a battle, at the end of the battle, the combat card, the winning combat card, actually gets put in the discard pile and the loser gets destroyed. So there's 2 keywords in the game. One is discard, which obviously means put into the discard pile, and the other one is destroy, and destroy is completely out of the game. So that token, sorry, we're going back to the card. The protection token means that the battling card that won, if it has that token on it, it can actually stay on the battlefield and doesn't get put in the discard pile. So you can potentially try and keep piling across to attack the keep. So that's the protection one. The Fire Wraith, so she's good against a dragon at the end of the game, so probably don't quite need her yet. Scorch Knights are what they've got out at the moment. They actually come out quite strong, and the Kragars help us actually build a stronger keep. So the cards, instead of being put out inactive, get put out active. So I think we're going to keep the Kragars. Maybe the Black Armory, so that's 2 of these caverns. If we get all 3, we get a token, if they're active. And I think we'll keep the Scorch Knights. So that was our free action because we ended up having no cards in hand at the end of last turn. So I think, oh, we can now place a building card for free. Oh, and I did not pick up any building cards. All right, so if we flip, so we're going to flip the back gate. This makes it very powerful, difficult to defeat. So now we can place a combat card or move the strong dragon back 1 space. So I do have a combat card that I could place in my barracks, or we can move this middle dragon back 1 space. I think because we've got the black gate out, we're actually quite strong. So I'm going to move this dragon back 1, and then because we've done that free action, it goes back to the beginning. So I think we'll do a place action, which is placing the Scorch Knights in the barracks. So this still stays there. Okay, so back to Kai. So it's highest, she only has 1 card, and it is a building card. So she has placed, and then we are now moving on to our action deck. The Black Mirror. So there's no Black Mirror in the keep at the moment. Protect. Kai is an inactive black gate or building card placed in their keep. So she does have an inactive building card. We need to turn over the highest. So highest is 14. So she does a flip. That was her 2 actions, and it comes back to us. I think I am just going to place and place. So we're going to do, oh, I'm still not moving up there. Right. Failed. But I've placed 2 cards in the caverns. So that was our go. We can't do anything there. Rather inefficient. Not a good turn for us there. So Kai, back to Kai. She has no cards in her hand. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. As you can see, we can cycle through cards fairly quickly, but it is, you have to discard 2 every time, so it's all sometimes a bit of a pain to pick. So highest, so we've got, right, so the Sorceress is 37, then we've got the Great Hall at 18, and then we've got Crimson Arch at 12. So the Minox and the Obsidian Stair are in the discard pile, so she will be placing her Sorceress. So the Sorceress has gone out active, and then we're on to here. Orders. Kai has an inactive combat card placed on the battlefield. She now does. Flip Kai's inactive combat card to on the battlefield active. So she is now, she's flipped, she's gone to there, and she now has more tokens, so we need to reload that up. Dear. Never mind. Okay, so she's placed the Sorceress and she's flipped the Scorch Knights active. She is ready to trundle across. So back to us. We have no cards in our hand. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we've got the Dragon Ram, which is if we can get it across this battlefield, we will destroy an entire column of the keep. Very powerful, quite difficult to get across. We also have, okay, so this rune matches this rune, so another runic alignment, and it is actually one of those as well. So maybe we'll look to keep that one. So the Fire Falcon is good at getting the opposition's Dragon Crystal, and the Dragon Crystal isn't out yet, so I think we'll pause on him for a minute. We've got an Obsidian Stair with a rune, but we don't have anything matching. And we've got another Fire Lancer, Scorch when active. Flip an enemy building card that is in range inactive. Oh, that's not a bad one. So we'll keep that one. So that's the third and last of our Fire Lancers. So that was a free draw. So we've got 2 actions to do. We get a free action. We get to place a building card. Brilliant. There we go. Finally. So that was a free action. So we've still got 2 actions left. So what I think I might do is I'm going to replace. So this icon matches this icon, which helps us there, which I was hoping I was going to find one of them first, but I didn't. So what you can do is instead of placing, you can replace. Now this came out active, goes in the discard, and a replace always goes out inactive. So even though the other one was active, it can't come out as an active card. So that was a place and a replace. We already did the place a building card for free, so we don't move up on that track. Back to Kai. So Lois this time, so she will be placing the Crimson Arch. So the Crimson Arch is there, and that's another place. She's going to get some more tokens soon. What's she going to do next? Charge! Kai has an active combat card on the battlefield. Move Kai's combat card towards the opposition keep. Now there is one thing I forgot to do. So there is, at the beginning of Kai's turn, if we have an active combat card on the battlefield, it can move across the battlefield for free. So it says move active combat card, free action at the start of each turn. It has to be at the start of each turn. We did forget to do it, so she will already have moved 1, because that was her free action. And then she placed this, and then she's now doing charge. Kai has an active combat card on the battlefield. It moves forward again. So the Scorched Knights are powering across the battlefield. So and she did a move action. And also the other thing, I forgot to do. So strength in numbers. This card can store a number 3. Oh, this is looking feisty. So it stores number 3 battle token on this card. So she's got 5 total at the moment, and she's just sprinted across the battlefield charging at us. Okay, so what do we do? So our Black Gate is quite strong. Anyway, that's her 2 actions, so it's back to us. So I'm going to do a place action, and I think I'm going to do flip action. So I've been quite poor on my explanation so far. I do apologise. So also we have done the bottom section of our keep. So if we on this it says have a total of 6 cards placed on level 2. It doesn't matter if they're active or not. So we have our 6 cards placed on level 1 and 2. So we've actually found this room, which we should have done as soon as we placed it, but I forgot. So we're going to go 1, 2. So we're moving that up to there. So we're getting towards, well, we're moving up nicely. I did a flip, I did a place, so that's good there. Right, so we're back to Kai. So we're going to toss again. Toss the coin. Highest, so it doesn't matter because it's the Great Hall, so the Great Hall is going in there. She's done a place, she's got another, oh, she's got very strong on that one. Back to there. We've got 1, 1. Okay, so then we go to our action. What's she going to do now? Warlock. Kai has a Warlock placed in her keep. She does not. Expand. Place a card from Kai's hand. So she doesn't have any cards, but she always draws a 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We have flipped highest, so we're going to keep 3 highest. So that is 30. Oh, okay, there's all very high number cards there. And she will be placing number 34, which is the Morgoth Troll. So she placed twice in her turn there. Oh, forgotten it again. Right, so this has come across now. So that was the beginning of her turn. So she can now attack our black gate with her Scorch Knights. But it has to be an action. So the action is called battle. So she's just sitting outside our gates at the moment, provoking us. What do we do? So I could bring out a Scorch Knight and potentially attack it back, but I'm quite confident our black gate's quite good. So we do get to roll 2 dice with the black gate versus the 1 for the Scorch Knights. But let's start putting out some of our summoning cards. So the summoning cards are more powerful the higher up in the keep they are placed. So the Dragon Crystal is good for defense, the Clan Leader is good for attack, and the Sorceress is good for flipping lots of cards in her keep. So I think what we're going to do is we are going to put out defense. So we're going to go for place, and then we are going to flip. And because we flipped, and this card is called the Dragon Crystal. Its special ability is called Mystic Shield, and it says place a defense battle token on this card with equal value to its level in the keep. So the level of the keep is number 4. So then we find a number 4 defense and we put it on there. And that was our place and our flip. So that's our go. So we're back to Kai. We're going to flip. Highest, so that is the Fire Lancer. The Fire Lancer is going to go there, and then she's done a place, and then we're going to go on. Kai has an active combat card that is in range to attack with either its special ability or battle action. So the special ability of the Scorch Knights is to store a 3. It's not using that at the moment, or Kai will battle against an adjacent card. So it has rushed across the battlefield. It is sat next to our black gate and it's decided to attack our black gate. So we are now going to be doing what she's chosen to battle. So I can now show you what battle does. So what will happen is we get to pick one of our 4 battle tactics cards. As soon as I've used one of these, it's out of the game until I get to my 5th battle, and then I get all the cards back again. So you've got to kind of possibly think what's good for us at the moment. So I'll go through them all in this first one. So Unexpected Aid. For every card in your hand, add 2 to your total. I actually have no cards in my hand, so we are definitely not using that one. Hidden Weapon. Roll an additional dice and add it to your total. Not too bad. Reserve Troops. For every card placed in your barracks and caverns, add 1 to your total. 2 caverns and 2 in the barracks, that's 4. So that's a start with a +4. Flames from Above. For each active Fire Lancer in your keep, add 2 to your total. So we also have 2 Fire Lancers, so that's a 4. So we are already going to roll 2 dice. I don't think we need another one, so I think we'll keep the Hidden Weapon. So it's whether we use Reserve Troops or Flames from Above. I'd probably like to maybe try and get another Fire Lancer out, so we'll keep the Flames from Above for later on. So the one we're going to use is Reserve Troops. For every card placed in your barracks and caverns, add 1 to your total. So we start off with a +4. Now in the 2-player game, the other player wouldn't know what we were choosing. So what will happen now? Kai will be, we just select one for Kai, so we're just going to shuffle and we'll pick this one. And we'll see what that comes out like. So we've both picked battle tactics. Now, in a 2-player game and in the solo game, is the defender must go first to put their battle tokens on their card. So if the card is active, under the name, you'll see a blue shield, or on combat cards you'll see a blue shield or an orange dot. That means they have access to either any of the attack or defense tokens in their keep. Now the attacker gets a slight advantage, so you'll get to see what the defender is choosing to defend with before the attacker puts on what they do. However, Kai will always put everything onto her card. So we are going to so we're defending. So this naturally gets to roll 2 dice, but I really don't want my black gate to be destroyed. So we are going to put all of our defense on as well. So every card that a battle token gets taken from gets turned inactive. So then Kai will now put all of hers on. So we're defending, so we're using blue, and Kai is attacking, so she can use red. So Kai's start in total is 6, and our start in total is 5. So then we'll reveal the battle tactics at the end. So what we do now is normally 2 cards against each other. It's usually one dice each. However, Blackgate, it uses 2 dice for defense. So we're blue, so I'm going to roll 2 dice. Not too bad. So we got 9. So it's 14 total at the moment. What's 4? That's 10. 14 versus 10. And then we're going to reveal. So for every card placed in your barracks, add 4. So we're on 18. And Kai is on 10. Flames to above. For each active fire launcher in your keep, add 2. She did have 1 active in there, so she's got 2, but it's still not enough. 11, 12. So it's 12 versus our 18. So Kai unfortunately loses. So Kai's battle tactics cards do not get lost. She always gets to have action for all of them. However, ours is out of the game until we get to our 5th battle. That does not happen very often. So the dice get taken off. The tokens get put back in the generic pile. And so we've ended up just having a battle. So there is, in the rule book, there's 4 potential outcomes at the end of the battle. So if a combat card loses, so the Scorched Knight is a combat card, and it loses, that card is destroyed. That is out of the game, cannot be used again. And then if a building card wins, so our Blackgate is a building card, that gets flipped inactive. If it lost, it would have been removed, and there would have been a keep collapse, which I may well explain later. So that's how the battle happened there. However, we did just win battle. So did we remove an enemy's combat card using a special ability? We didn't. Did we destroy an enemy's card in battle? We did. So the Scorched Knights were destroyed. So we now actually have found this rune. This rune is worth 2. 1, 2. So we've gone up 2. We've actually flipped this one. We flipped this one. So we found 3 runes in 3 different columns. So we've now achieved the sort of first objective in order for us to summon a dragon, which is having 3 of these tiles flipped. So that's good. So we're on 5, which is correct, because the buildings are worth 2, this one's worth 2, and this one's worth 1. So yeah, we've moved up again, so that's not too bad. So that was Kai's second action, because she attacked. Unfortunately, she attacked the wrong card for us, so we defended that quite well. Okay, so then it comes back to us. We have no cards in our hand. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And so the blacksmith actually gives us some more of these battle tokens, which is quite good. The black mirror allows us to swap cards around in the keep, which actually isn't too bad. And the dragon cannon is quite devastating. So I'm going to get rid of 2 other building cards. So this, we've now got our actions to do now. So I think what I might do first of all is I'm going to put the dragon cannon in our barracks. So we did a place, and this now means that we've placed all 3 cards in the barracks. So have all combat cards placed in your barracks means we found this rune. So this rune, that gets flipped. We've gone up 1 there. So that's 1. So we've got 1 action left. So we're getting quite close to the weak dragon at the moment. If we land on this dragon and we haven't got these 2 cards out, then we can't summon the dragon, even if we wanted to. If we get these 2 cards out and we land on the weak dragon, we can still choose not to summon it, but we would move our token 1 closer to the next dragon up. So I think that might be our plan this time round. So we've got 1 action left. I think we're going to go with place. We placed the dragon cannon and we placed the blacksmith. Now, in order to find this rune here, these three actually have to be active, and we've not been using these bonuses very well at all. So we're back to Kai. Kai is lowest, so the clan leader is going up. That was her only card. And then what is she going to do now? Sorceress. Kai has the sorceress placed in her keep, so she does. Use the active sorceress special ability, so she's not active at the moment, so that was number 1. Or number 2 is we're going to flip her active. So that's her 2 there. So we need to get to these dragons in order to summon them. We need to kind of find all these runes. As I said before, Kai doesn't need to know that she already knows the runes. She just needs to make a very powerful keep, which is basically having her keep three cards wide, 5 cards high. So 15 cards placed in her keep, all active. As soon as they go all active, she will be summoning a dragon. So we need to kind of stop her from doing that at the moment. So, okay. So it comes back to us. So she's just going to keep placing cards and cards and cards, and we've got to try and actually actively get across there and stop her from doing this. Okay, so we have got... I'm also conscious that I want to get these guys out because I don't want to get to the weak dragon and not have that bonus move. So I think what we might do is sorceress. I'm just going to get placed there. And we've now got a free action, so we've got 1 action after this. Place a building card, which we could place the clan leader, or we could move the mighty dragon down 1. I think we're going to do that again. So we're going to go with moving the mighty dragon down 1 space, so it's a little bit closer to us. So we've still got 1 action left, so I think we're going to do... Let's place the clan leader. So now we have all 3 of our summoning cards, which are the 3 foil cards. Have all 3 summoning cards placed in your keep. So we've now found this rune, which gives us 1, so we've gone up another 1. So, fun fact, the building runes are actually variations on my 2 daughters and my wife's initials. And in the clan runes, the one we've just placed in is actually a pineapple. This is because the close friends I play with online, whenever we try and organise to do any sort of action together, instead of shouting go, we shout pineapple. So that's why we've got them in there. Little Easter eggs hidden in the game. So we're back to Kai. So Kai has no cards in her hand. We're going to flip. That is going to be lowest, so she's going to keep the lowest. So she is keeping 2 and 16 and 17. So the warlock on the black mirror are not getting placed this time. Right, so then she's going to be placing the lowest. So she's going to be placing the Crimson Arch. Oh dear. She's getting very close to... So if she fills up her keep, she is going to ignore doing any of these actions, and all she's going to be doing is flipping 2 cards based on this coin toss. And when she has everything active, that is when she's summoning the dragon. So we are kind of slowly running out of time at the moment. So she's done a place, and then she's reached the end of her track, so off we go again. Can't believe I've not been using any of my cavern activities. I should have been doing that long time ago. Never mind. So her first action is expand. Place a card from Kai's hand. We are going to be placing the lowest. The lowest number is number 16, so that's an obsidian stair. We are getting very close to her. So she's done 2 places, so that doesn't go up a second time. Okay, back to us. So we're going to flip the sorceress. So she's going to go to her active side. And then we're going to use her special ability. Now, the sorceress's special ability is called Crimson Keep. So she will flip the number of building cards active in her keep equal to the level of this card. This card is on level 5, the highest. So she will be flipping 5 inactive cards active. So quite a powerful card there. So we will be using her special ability, and once we've done it, that means she goes back inactive. So we're going to choose the 5. So we're definitely going to do the black gate. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so we've flipped the 5, and there's a couple of things happening now because we've done that. So let's start at the bottom, go up. So we've got a pair. Brilliant. And the pair actually matches this one here. So we get to put in this room, and that gives us 1. So we've gone to 1 there. Now we also get to put on these tokens, so I think we'll maybe stick with 1 attack, 1 defense. So that was the first thing. The second thing moving up is the clan leader. So the clan leader, their special ability is called Battle Veteran. Place an attack battle token on this card with equal value to its level in the keep. So this is on level 3, so this gets a level 3. And then we're going up again, and the dragon crystal, like before, was on level 4, so it gets number 4. So quite a powerful move there. So we flipped her active, and then we used her special ability, and we've got all of this active in our keep now. Alright, so we go back to Kai. What is she going to do? So it's lowest. She only has 1 card, which is the black gate. Now the rules for solo play for Kai is this is one of the only tiny variants. So basically this card has to go here. It replaces whatever was in that position beforehand. So that gets discarded. So she's done a replace, and the black gate is there. So she's gone to there. She has now got those 2, and she's gone back to there. Okay. So then she's got a second action. Attack. Kai is an active combat card in the battlefield. She does not. Sorceress. Sorceress. Yeah, she does. Kai is a sorceress placed in a keep. So number 1, she will use the sorceress's special ability exactly like we have just done. So she will be going. She'll be using. We've done a place, and we've done a special ability. So we will be flipping her inactive, and she is on level 3, and she will be flipping the 3 lowest inactive building cards. So we've got number 2 and number 3. Number 2, number 3, and so we've got a 12. Yeah, 12 is the next one. So remember, if she manages to get all of this keep red, then she's going to summon the dragon. So we actually need to get out and try and do something. Luckily we have our dragon cannon. Alright, it's back to us. So I'm going to bring out the dragon cannon. Oh, that's actually brilliant. Right, okay. So we're going to use a special ability. The Black Gate special ability is called Iron Will. Place a combat card from the barracks active on the battlefield next to your keep. So normally, when we place out a combat card, it has to come out inactive. But because we've used the Black Gate, it comes out active. So that was 1 action. It was important because normally, if we bring it out and flip it, that's 2 actions, but that actually only cost us 1 action. And the second thing we're going to do is we are going to battle. Now, nearly all the other cards, combat cards, have to be adjacent to battle. However, this card's special ability is called Blitz. Attack the nearest building card with 2 dice. Victory also flips the card behind inactive. If the second card was inactive, it is removed. So we are now going to instigate the second battle of the game. Dragon Cannon is going to be attacking the nearest building card, which is the Black Gate. So we're going to go all over again. So we start off with the battle tactics like last time. So we've got unexpected aid for every card in your hand. We've only got 1 card in our hand. Roll an additional die and add it to your total. or we've got Flames from Above. For each active fire launcher in your keep, add 2 to your totals. We've got 4. That kind of worked for us last time. As much as I wanted a 3rd fire launcher out, we're going to keep that one. Then it goes to Kai. So again, we're just going to do a big old shuffle. See what she comes out with. And then we're attacking. Now normally you might be able to see, but like normally on inactive cards there isn't a blue shield icon just under the name, which means they don't have access to these if they got attacked, if they're inactive. If they're flipped inactive, they will have access to these. However, the Black Gate is a powerful card for defense, so it does actually get access to these. However, if it was active, it would have 2 dice it could use to defend itself, but in this case it doesn't. It just gets to roll 1. So Kai has used all of her defense tokens there, so then we get to use any attack tokens that we've got. So I am going to load it up. 1, 2, 3. So they've all gone inactive again. So we start, Kai starts with 4 and we start with 5. Now I get to roll 2 dice to attack this time, and normally the Black Gate would get 2 if it was active, but it only gets 1 because it's inactive. So I'll roll first. Oh, I think that was the same as last time. Very fancy roll. So we have 14 versus 7. I don't think Kai's going to win this one either. So we got Flames from Above. That's 14, 18 again. Well, 18 again. And then Kai, Unexpected Aid. For every card in your hand. Oh, she didn't actually have any cards in her hand this time, so that didn't work for her. And unfortunately, Kai loses. So it's the same as last time. These come off. These come off. My one is discarded, but Kai gets to keep hers. So if a building card loses, it is destroyed. We have destroyed the Black Gate, which is very good for us. And because we've destroyed the Black Gate, this is like the foundation of this column. Therefore, all of these 3 cards are discarded. They're not destroyed, they're just discarded. It's only the Black Gate that got destroyed. And that has caused a keep collapse. So a keep collapse means we actually get to draw 4 cards into our hand. 1, 2, 3, 4. For free. And also it says if the card behind was active, this gets flipped inactive. And because there's been a keep collapse, everything's falling down, there's rubble falling everywhere, everything comes off the battlefield. It's put in the discard pile. So you can't keep continuously using the Dragon Cannon. But that was quite an effective use of the Dragon Cannon for us, which was great. And actually, that also gives us, did we create a keep collapse in our enemy's keep? Yes, we did. A keep collapse is defined by if you destroy a building card that has any other cards above it. So we've now created a keep collapse, which gives us 2. 1, 2. This now means we have just landed on or surpassed the weak dragon. So let's just check at the bottom. Do we have 3 runic value tiles flipped? We actually have all 4 flipped, so that's great. Do we have 3 summoning cards? Oh, well, I just failed on that one. Do I have 3 summoning cards active? That's the important word, active, in my keep. So I do have 3, but only 1 of them is active. So that now means that we can't actually summon this dragon, which means we don't get our bonus 1, but we still lose that dragon. Ooh, that's annoying. So we've basically got to make sure that if we get to this medium dragon, these guys have to be active. Okay, so I used the special ability to bring out the dragon cannon, and now use the battle. Now we use special ability and battle at the same tracks, therefore we don't go up twice. So it's back to Kai. Kai has no cards in her hand, so she's got 2 there. So then she's reached the end of her deck, so then we're going to shuffle for a sec. So that is quite devastating for Kai, but you will probably see that she will build quite quickly back up again, or she's going to start sending out troops over to us. So let's go with the shuffle. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's her new draw deck, and we are going to be flipping the coin. So we're on lowest. So that is number 3. That is 18, and that is a 21. So then she's going to be placing her lowest, which is number 3. So she's already building again. So off she goes. She's built. And then what's she going to do for her second action? Fire Lancer. Kai has a Fire Lancer placed in her keep. So she has this one which says burn, move an enemy combat card. So she can't use this Fire Lancer. However, she does have this one up here. So if she can't use a Fire Lancer special ability, if she has an inactive one, then she'll be flipping it active. So that was her 2 actions there. So it comes back to us. So we've got quite a full hand now because of the keep collapse that happened last time. So if we flip the Black Armory, that means we can store that one on there if we want to go out. And so that was 2. Actually, no, sorry. So let's go with 1 flip, and then going to use a special ability, which is the Kragars. So we get to put a building card out active. So I'm going to put the Black Mirror out active. We did a flip, and then we did a special ability, which basically puts this Black Mirror card there. So then we've gone back to Kai. I don't think that counted. So lowest, the Great Hall. She's done a place. Oh, we haven't filled that up. So then we got a second action. Protect. Kai's an inactive Black Gate. Oh, she did have a Black Gate, but not anymore. We attacked at the right time. So basically we are flipping the lowest numbered card active, which is number 3, which is this one. So she's done a flip. Okay, so it's back to us. We're going to flip the Sorceress, place a combat card, or move the Strong Dragon down 1. We're going to move the Strong Dragon down 1. And then we're going to flip again so it doesn't go up anymore. And we're going to have the Clan Leader set on level 3, and the Clan Leader is going to stay there. Okay. So now all 3 of our summoning cards, this one, and this one, are active in our keep. Move the dragon down 1, so we're only 2 away. So if we place 2 cards there, we will find that rune. Back to Kai. Kai has the Dragusa. See, we're going to highest. So she's going to replace the highest. So if the barracks are full, she will replace based on the token. So she is going to replace the highest number, which is 24. So the Fire Falcon is coming out, and Dragusa is going in its place. That gets put in the discard. So she's done a place. She's got to the end. She's gone back down there. We're going to fill that back up again. What is her second action going to be? Orders. Kai is an inactive combat card placed on the battlefield. She does not have one on the battlefield yet. She does have them in her barracks. Mobilize. Kai is a combat card placed in her barracks. Place a combat card from the barracks inactive on the battlefield. Okay, so we are going to be placing the highest numbered. The highest numbered is the Morgoth Troll. So she's done 2 places this time round. She is not happy that we've taken out our keep, and she's going to be sending the Morgoth Troll across, which could be fun. Right, so back to us. So our highest runes are combat runes and building runes. We've got 2 of them. Actually, what will happen is, if we destroyed another card, or we did another keep collapse, this will flip over, and in the final game, this will be inverted and it'll have a +3. This one will have a +2 and that will have a +1. So basically, if you do a combat for a second time, you get bonus moves for that, which is quite good. Okay. However, we don't have a card at the moment. Oh, actually, we've got the Dragusa. So if we got the Dragusa placed in there, and then we got her out and we used her special ability is to get rid of one of these cards and flip one of her summoning cards inactive. But if we did that, we would have done this one, which gives us another 2, which actually gets us onto there. I think that's going to be our quickest way. So we're going to do a place, and then let's get this flipped. We'll do a flip. So that's us. So then it's back to Kai. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So what's she keeping? She's keeping the highest. She's keeping the lava worm, the dragon crystal, and the dragon cannon. Dragon cannon's coming. So then she will be placing the highest, which is the dragon crystal. And then she's going to be doing an action. Kai is an active combat card on the battlefield. She does, but it's not active. The Black Mirror. Does she have a Black Mirror? No, she doesn't have the Black Mirror in. And the Warlock, she doesn't have the Warlock. Going to go again. Sorceress. Kai has a sorceress placed in her keep, so she does. She can't use a special ability, but she will flip it. That's that. Then it's back to us. So I think our strategy was to get out the Dragusa, use a special ability. Now let's just make sure we've got everything that we're going to need. So do we have 3 of these turned over? Yes, we do. Do we have 3 summoning cards active? Active, 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 yes. And have we landed on this yet? We will this turn. So we are going to use this card special ability, so we're going to go again. That doesn't go up because it's at the end, and this comes out active. So that's action 1. And then we're going to use the card's special ability. So Dragusa, her special ability is called Fury. We flip one enemy summoning card inactive. Well, she's just turned her sorceress, so we get to turn the sorceress back over. So it's one of the 3 foiled cards we get to flip inactive, and we get to remove 1 combat card from the battlefield. So it's removed, not destroyed, just removed. But at the end of this, we need to roll 1 die. If we roll a 1 to 3, Dragusa is destroyed. She effectively runs away from us. She hates being held captive by us, and she's just finding any way to escape. So 1, 2, or 3, she escapes, and we never use her again in this game. Oh, so she escaped. We can never use her again. So she's quite a powerful card, but quite fickle. So she's gone. However, did we remove an enemy's combat card using a special ability? We just use the Dragusa's special ability to remove the Morgoth Troll. Because we've done that, we gain this rune. This rune gives us 2. 1, 2. This means we have landed on the strong dragon, and we've done the tiles, we have 3 active, and we've landed on that. That means we can now summon the dragon. So we've got a couple of choices. We could move forward one and try and get all the way up to this dragon, which is quite a far stretch for us now, because we could have been maybe doing that, planning it earlier on in the game, but we didn't. So I don't think we're going to do that. We are going to go for the strong dragon. So we have now just triggered the final battle. Brilliant. So the final battle is we get to summon the dragon. So the dragon has been trapped in the monolith, and we have just released it. We summon the dragon, everything stops in its final battle, and just for aesthetic sake, because the game is called Crimson Keep, your entire keep turns red. It's completely, it's gained its power, it is glowing. We have our Crimson Keep. All our tokens get removed, no need to have them. It just sits there. So that is the end of our turn. We have just summoned our dragon, don't need to do any more. So defenders have one final desperate chance to start defending their keep. So what Kai does, she doesn't do any actions. She is now going to turn over her 2 highest numbered cards. So like she does at the very beginning of the game, if the dragon comes out, she goes into full protection mode and she's turning over her 2 highest numbered cards. So the sorceress is 37 and the dragon crystal is 31. So she has flipped 2 of those cards over. Now this dragon crystal has a number 3. And that is important, and that is basically the end of her go. So she's done her 2 actions. Now Kai, before the dragon attacks, she can actually try and purchase some keep defense cards. Now she uses the total value of her battle tokens. It comes off the cards, they don't get flipped inactive, and we add up this total. So it's 3, 4, 5, 6. Now in the rules it says between 4 and 7 she gets to keep 1 to keep defense card. If she had between 8 and 11 she would get to keep 2, or 12 plus she would get to keep 3 keep defense cards. However, her total is only 6, therefore she gets to keep 1 keep defense card. So we're going to randomly choose it, and that is her keep defense card there. So that is in the game. So what happens now? So we have summoned the strong dragon. Why is the strong dragon better than the weak dragon, or not quite as good as the mighty dragon? Because we summoned the strong dragon, we get to use 1 obliterate card. It is as powerful as it sounds. The weak dragon would get none, the strong dragon gets 1, and the mighty dragon gets 2. Because we summoned the strong dragon, you get to use 1 in our game. So what is an obliterate card? So it comes back to us. So we've summoned the dragon, Kai has had 1 final go of 2 actions, and it comes back to us, and we get to either choose if we want to use an obliterate card or we want to use a fire attack. A fire attack is rolling 4 dice, and we will work out the defense of each of those columns, which I'll explain in a minute. But first of all, we've just summoned our dragon. Why would we not want to use an obliterate? So the obliterate is, if I roll 4 1s, then Kai gets a full turn again, and she will flip the next 2 highest cards in her keep if I roll 4 1s. It's not unheard of. If I roll between 5 and 14, I get to destroy all cards in columns A or B. If I roll 15 to 23, I get to destroy all columns in B or C. If I roll 24, I get to choose what column I destroy. So the way the final battle, how we win the game, is Kai is against the keep, and the keep is desperately trying to defend against her attacks. each column has a value, but I'll explain that in a second. But the obliterate card, as the name suggests, just completely destroys one column. So we have got 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. So we've rolled 18. So it says between 15 and 23, destroy all cards in columns B or C. Oop, didn't need to do that. Oh, she did flip 2 cards. Right, apologies. Kai did flip 2 cards. She would have moved up there, which would have given her another 2. So that is 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So if she gets to 8, then she actually gets 2 keep defense cards. There you go. I nearly done Kai out of an extra keep defense card. So this will make things more tricky for us now. However, so we have got either in B or C. So one of these two. So each column has a value. Every inactive card in that column is worth 0. Every active card is worth 2. Every inactive summoning card, like the Clown Leader here, is worth 3. And any active summoning card is worth 4. So this is worth 2, 4, 6, 10, because that's worth nothing, so that's worth 10. 2, 4, that's worth 7, because this is inactive. This is worth 4, 5, 6. So this is the more powerful column, and we can get to choice between, we only get B or C, these two, not A. So we're going to go with 2, 4. Let's get rid of B. So that is that column completely destroyed. However, that's the only use of that obliterate card we've got. You've done your obliterate, you can put it in there as if to show that the ground is afire and they cannot make the keep. You can't keep building in the same section again. Right, so then we are now going back to Kai. So what will happen is, it's a quick fire round now, so we get 1 action per turn. So our action was to use the obliterate card. Now Kai gets 1 action. So she will flip her highest numbered card, which is number 18. And that was her 1 action. Flip goes up 1. Doesn't really matter. Actually, these can all go now. She cannot earn any more battle tokens, so she can't buy any more keep defense cards anyway. So that is the end of that track. Okay, so it now comes back to us. So now all we have left is a fire attack. Quite powerful, but we are going to be rolling 4 dice. Then Kai will be trying to reduce our total by using a keep defense card. She will always use a keep defense card if she has one. So we're going to roll 4 dice. So this total is 2, 4, and this is worth 4. So that the total is 8. So we have to beat 8 with 4 dice. Let's hope we can at least do that. Oh my word. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. We've literally just squeaked a roll there. So we should have picked one before. Let's just go. Let's go with that one. And then we choose its orientation. So let's go with the number in there. So we start with that. So we're going to go 1, 2, 3. So we're going to go, my random choice is the dot. So we're going to turn over the dot. Does this actually help us? So on either side of this, when we flip it over, there are 2 different types of ways that she can defend with. And we have said remove 1 even die from the attack. So on the other side, if we'd done it, it said remove the second highest die from attack. But this says remove 1 even die from attack. So, the only even die, she would have only picked the highest one, is the 4. So she's now used this card to remove 1 even die. So our total is now only 5, and we were trying to beat an 8. So she's actually managed to defend that quite well. So she doesn't get to use this keep defense card again. That is gone. But she has actually defended us once. So what happens now is that one of our cards actually gets flipped to its other side, which shows that our dragon has been injured. They've managed to get some secret archers firing against her. If all 4 of these get turned inactive, there's a final roll of the dice, and it depends on which way she crashes into the keep. But we'll see if that happens. So that was our first round of attack and defense. So then it comes back to Kai, because we attacked, she managed to defend it, so she's going to now flip this card over. So this makes this column a little bit stronger. So then we've only got fire attacks left, so we're going to have to be attacking this one. So the rule is a fire attack has to attack the closest column. So let's see if we can beat 8 this time. Kai will be using this one. So let's 1. Yeah, so we're going to go upside down again. That's not a rule, by the way. That's just something I'm just making up, just so I can randomly pick which way it goes. Bit better. 10, 15, 18. Remove 1 odd die from the attack. Yeah, we had even last time, so she's removing 1 odd. So she's going to remove the highest odd, which is a 5, which is quite high. But that is 10, 11, 12, 13. So 13 beats 8. So this column has been destroyed. And she cannot nurture. That's her second keep defense card, and that is her out of keep defense cards. However, we are now straight attacking with the 4 dice against 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So we have to beat a 12. Kai can't build there. We do have a second obliterate card. We'll just use that as a marker just to show that she can't build. Well, so 12 we've got to beat with 4 dice. Can we do it? Oh, yes. 6. So that's 10, 16, 17. So that is completely destroyed. And we have just won Crimson Keep. Brilliant. Kai was okay today. She can sometimes be a lot more potent. We seem to have managed her quite well. Maybe it's because I've been playing it quite a lot recently. So you can adjust the difficulty. So let's say, for instance, we would make one of these a number 1. So therefore we're not going to go up the track quite as quickly, or you can make them all 1, so you can make it really hard for you to try and beat Kai. So there's different levels you can do there. But I hope you enjoyed. I hope that all made sense, and hope it might have answered any questions you might have had about the solo play. But thanks for watching. If you've got any questions, just let me know in the comments.